All right, welcome to The Explainer. We're always trying to break down big ideas into something you can actually use. And today, we've got a really powerful one from Sheikh Hussein Abdulrazak. It's a blueprint for building your day around a higher purpose. So, if you've ever felt that pull to do something meaningful, maybe even share your knowledge and faith with others, then you're in the right place, because it all starts with how you master your day.
Okay, let's just start with this quote because it hits hard. Neglecting one day is the beginning of wasting a whole lifetime. Wow. Think about that. To achieve any big goal, you've got to first win the 24 hours right in front of you. It's not just about, being productive. It's about realizing your whole life is just a stack of individual days, built one on top of the other.
So that brings us to our foundation. We're surrounded by all these life hacks and quick fixes, right? But this approach, it's totally different. It's about building your entire life on a base that is absolutely solid.
And what is that base? Well, before you even think about building some skyscraper of knowledge or launching a huge project, the Sheikh says there's one thing you have to do first. And that's to perfect your core, obligatory duties, your fara'id. We're talking about your fundamental responsibilities to your creator, your family, yourself. This is the bedrock. Everything else you build gets its strength and its blessing from this foundation.
Okay, so the foundation is solid, now what? Well, every builder needs a toolkit, right? And for a student of knowledge, it's no different. The Sheikh gives us 3 essential skills we need to really construct our day the right way.
And what's so powerful about this is how simple it is. It's a 3-step journey from a dream to something real. First, you need clarity of goals. You have to know exactly what you're aiming for, no vague ideas. Then, you take those goals and you break them down into concrete actions. And here's the game changer. You schedule those actions. You give them a specific home in your day. And just like that, a wish becomes a plan you can't ignore.
But here's the thing, even with the perfect blueprint and the best tools, there's always a demolition crew lurking around, ready to tear down everything you've built. And a lot of the time, you don't even see them coming.
So what are these things that just sabotage your success and absolutely burn through your time? The Sheikh calls them out. He identifies 5 specific enemies of time that we all have to watch out for.
And we really need to break these down because they're sneaky. Number 1 is ostentation. That's doing things for praise, for likes, instead of for the right reason. Then there's overcommitment. You know this one. Trying to join every program, read every book, and ending up mastering nothing. Third, pointless arguments, getting sucked into debates online or in person that go nowhere and just drain you. Fourth, complicating life. This is huge. Obsessing over trivial stuff and constantly comparing yourself to others. And finally, overindulgence. Letting even the stuff that's technically okay, like entertainment, just eat up all your time and kill your motivation.
Okay, so if those are the enemies, how in the world do you fight back? Well, the answer is simple, but not easy. It's about becoming a deliberate, conscious architect of your own habits. I mean, think about it. Your entire day is really just a bundle of habits, right? So this framework gives you 4 missions for those habits. You've got bad habits you need to eliminate, new habits you need to acquire, good habits you already have that you need to maintain. And finally, those habits you've totally mastered, well, you need to perfect them. It's this constant, active process of getting better.
So how do you actually build those new habits so they stick? The Sheikh gives us 3 brilliant principles. First, be comprehensive. Don't just focus on your mind and neglect your body or your spirit. Cover all the bases. Second, use variety. Man, this is key. If your goal is to learn something, don't just read. Listen to a lecture, summarize it, discuss it with a friend. Mix it up. And third, the one that holds it all together, consistency.
And this really is the secret sauce. This hadith says it all. The most beloved of deeds to Allah are the most consistent of them, even if they are few. Get this. The real difference maker isn't some crazy burst of effort. It's the small thing you do, day in and day out. That is so much more powerful than a huge effort you only do once in a blue moon.
Okay, so we've got the foundation, the tools, the enemies, and the principles. So what does this actually look like day to day? Let's get super practical and lay out the actual blueprint.
All right, the Sheikh calls the time between the dawn prayer, Fajr, and noon, Dhuhr, the golden hours. He literally calls it the treasure of the day. And for good reason. This is the time of peak mental clarity, of immense blessing. It's reserved for your most difficult, most important work. This is not the time for emails or social media. This is for deep, focused work. So you got to think of this as your sacred, protected time. It's your deep work block. Your mind is fresh. The world is still pretty quiet. This is when you tackle the really complex stuff, the subjects that need your full attention. You have to guard this time like a fortress, because honestly, how you use these few hours can set the tone for your entire day.
But what about all those other little bits of time? You know, your commute, walking to the store, waiting in line. We usually just write that off as wasted time, right? Well, this blueprint tells us to think about it completely differently.
And here's the big reframe. There is no such thing as wasted time. There is only repurposed time. Those moments are perfect for light, passive learning. Throw on an audiobook, listen to a lecture, review some notes. It's amazing. This one little shift can literally add hours of productive learning to your week without you even trying.
Which brings us full circle, back to the big why. Why go through all this trouble to build such a disciplined day? I mean, it's not just about becoming some super efficient productivity robot.
It's so important to remember that this whole structure, it's just a means to an end. The goal isn't just about you. It's about using your time, your energy, your focus in a way that is an act of worship. Every page you read, every skill you learn, it can all be for a higher purpose.
And check this out, especially for anyone who feels that calling to share what they know, maybe to teach someone about Islam for the first time. The Sheikh shares this incredible secret. He says the moment you make the intention to teach a subject, your own learning goes to a completely different level. You start to focus more, you ask way better questions, you're always looking for the key points. It's like a hack for your own brain that solidifies everything you're trying to learn.
So in the end, this blueprint, it's not really about managing a schedule. It's about being the architect of a life with purpose. It's about seeing every single day as a fresh chance to build something truly meaningful. You've seen the blueprint, you have the tools, so the only real question left is, what are you going to build?